Hey, welcome here, welcome back. It's that guy's blue as it gets. Just back with the post draft little whatever feelings, I guess. Like I said before in the previous video, I don't really have much to say about this draft class, but I'm gonna just keep an open mind about it and see what we did. And well, we made our picks. Not bad picks at all, I guess you'd say. Positions of need. I don't think it was really too much the Giants could have picked that wouldn't have been a kind of a position of need in this draft. So they came away with good players, at least we hope to see. First pick and the fifth pick was Arvell Reese, linebacker, Ohio State. A lot of Ohio State players went in the first 10. So this class, for at least Ohio State, seems to be pretty strong. So hopefully Arvell Reese here, stepping into the linebacking, probably going to play more of an inside linebacker my view, but that was stated from the coach Harbaugh as well that probably gonna be more of an inside linebacker look. Which yeah, because we have Burns and Kayvon and Abdul Carter there for the outside edge presence right now. We really do need help in the inside linebacker. We lost Curry K. We picked up Tremont Edmonds from I don't know if he was from Buffalo on this, but he used to play for Buffalo. Tremont Edmonds. So you know, it's needed some help there, at least on the inside for the linebackers, and that's where hopefully Arvell Reese is going to come in, fill in for that gap. So good pick there. Okay, we're not going to say who made the pick like that. Just the Giants made a good pick right there. Okay, of a position of need. Now it's about the player planning on a good start, and the Giants and everything else in the seasons to come. Developing in the right way to make him even a better player. That's pretty much what it is for the Giants a lot of times and the issues they have with getting things right. All right, but now we'll go on to the 10th pick now that we had in that first round here, the trade that we got from Dexter Lawrence to the Cincinnati Bengals. We got the 10th pick. The Giants, not surprising really, but went O-line, Francis Magoya. I'm saying his last name right. Um, out of Miami, solid producing school as far as talent, stuff like that. So, and a position of need once again for the Giants with the O line, especially since at things like Evan Neal, or even to speak more like more of a steady guy looking at like Andrew Thomas missed some games. You want some more talent there, young talent to come in and develop right alongside those guys. Hopefully, he's going to play the position he was drafted for at tackle, and they don't try to move him inside, just off rip and stuff like that. Hopefully, he actually does get a chance on the outside. He doesn't have too serious of like, competition out there other than somebody who's a veteran tenured. When it comes to him and Neil going one on one, and as far as that off-season competitions, he was going to be the starter or whatever, ahead of who on the depth chart. But hopefully, Maguire is there and can reinforce the O-line that's been in trouble for a long time. We all know this. And Doc could use some protection when he's back there actually passing, maybe a little less scrambling, more games played consistently because he's not out there taking hits, running the ball and stuff like that. That's not stuff here to talk about. Those are two picks, though. The thing I say about these picks is, of course, interesting as the NFC East as it is that the Washington Redskins came in right after us. There's a few players that the Giants had previously been looking at through the combine and through the player meetings like that. I don't always take those, or you probably shouldn't take those player meetings so definite, definitive thing for a player being drafted because it is 30 players and it's a bunch of teams. But Dallas, of course, being Dallas, but Washington Commanders came in after us and took Sonny Styles, the other linebacker out of Ohio State, which some people might have been either or on for that was pretty much a thing for him throughout the draft process. So that's what happened with Dallas, and then I'm sorry, Washington, and of course Dallas being Dallas had to come in right behind us. Another player that was kind of on our radar, and Caleb Downs, safety here, and Ohio State, another Ohio State stat guy. But some players, some people, fans might be a little mixed on the two, whatever. I think the O line guy is probably a good pick. I like the situation, so it comes down to if you wanted a defensive player like Reese or a defensive player like Caleb Downs in this situation. For me personally, as far as helping out, especially going to help out offensive side of the ball and address the defense in the same time with the two picks. Defense. Maybe yeah, you take downs there, but with the O line still being kind of a suspect, man, you just had to kind of address that, and they did. So it was a good pick by the team there. I think I'm not gonna shit on that pick or anything like that, or either one of them. If there was a player I would talk about that I was like, oh, okay, oh, we get him. It would probably be the tight end out of Oregon, Kenyon Sadiq. That'd probably been my guy I went with. But the Jets got him, so he still ended up in New York. But like, yeah, not on the right team there. Yeah, that's a draft though. For the team itself, as far as players and things like that, I'm sure they probably wanted guys of their own, just like us, that they thought might help out their side of the ball or whatever else. And picks are made. We don't make these picks. The players don't make these picks either. So, but as far as that, I think in long run, when it comes down to game day, at that point there won't be any real, things around who was drafted, who and who you might want to know. You're gonna be out there trying to do their thing together as all 22 on the field. So, and that's John Harbaugh's job right there, and whatever else in the coaching staff to make sure that's the thing. So we ain't gonna talk about that. That's the draft, though. I think it went okay for the Giants, man. I feel like they made some good moves as far as the foundational moves that you need to have on a team for it to be good. At least the core with the linebacking now is we've been avoiding addressing the middle linebacker situation for a minute as far as drafting somebody. So even he was drafted as he's an off-ball linebacker, special players because he removed in numerous spots. But he's going to be playing inside a lot for us as well and other spots on the line, and they're going to mix it up. They mix it up. So Carter's probably gonna be playing inside in some spots too. It should be interesting to see out of the linebacking group now. Especially without Dex in there, and now there being these four linebackers who are supposed to be premier players on the team in their own rights. So when you go back to Kayvon, he was like the fifth pick of the draft himself. So he's a high value pick, how high draft pick himself. So we have to see this turnover that you would expect to see with so much invested in draft capital by the team there, right? For being most serious about it. But if you're just being a fan about it, we're gonna see what they do. Come on, man. I expect these guys to be putting dudes in the turf all the time, as far as these linebacking guys. And in the secondary, it's still a question. But the free agents that the GM brought in last season probably going to be the ones that we would look for most to improve in that area for the secondary, along with the guys who already drafted like Newbin, Belton's still around. I cannot remember right now. But yeah, things like that. So that's it, man. This guy Lewis gets post draft little talk too. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I enjoyed the draft. It was chill. No real crazy moves. I thought other than seeing Buffalo trade themselves pretty much out of the first round at the end there. That was the last thing to see. All right then. Peace, man.